Om Shanti and greetings of peace to all my brothers and sisters, and wishing you a very happy Diwali. And today we will talk about the spiritual significance of Diwali. Diwali is actually a contraction of the word Deepavali, and Deepavali means literally a row of lights. And this row of lights was created when King Rama returned back to his kingdom. So it's the rejoicing of the return of King Rama back to his kingdom. And King Rama had been sent into exile, and while he was out of his kingdom, away from his throne, the people were very saddened, and they were just remembering him and returning, waiting for his return. So when he did return, the whole kingdom lit up, and that is also known as Diwali. And let me say that many people will be lighting these lamps, although there's many fashionable lights now and candles that people light, but everybody looks for these earthenware lamps with the cotton wick and the oil. And that is quite symbolic actually, because it's symbolic of this body of clay in which we have this light, the soul that is sitting, and the idea is to keep this light always lit. So on Diwali, they make sure that this light is lit throughout the Badi Diwali, the big day, which I will explain in a few moments. But again, it's very symbolic that our light of the soul always remains lit. So leading up to Diwali, they clean their homes and they paint their homes. So corners of the houses that are neglected are thoroughly cleaned, washed, painted. And the idea behind this is that that Lakshmi will come. That Lakshmi will come if, your house is clean. If your house is not clean, then Lakshmi will not enter. So everybody makes a point of cleaning their homes. And the first day of Diwali is called Dhanteras. And Dhanteras is the day in which there is the worship of wealth, the worship of Lakshmi. And they put coins, people put coins in front of the deity idols, and they pay a lot of respect to this by putting red powder and putting rice on it. And so basically one is the worship of wealth, but also on this day, the first day of the 5 days, they buy some precious metal. Now what could be more precious than gold? So people actually buy a piece of gold and keep it, wear it. Again, it brings good omens to the house. Then we have something called Choti Diwali on day 2. And on Choti Diwali, what actually happens is 5 little divas are lit. And now, because they've just been cleaning, now they begin to slightly decorate their homes. And there may even be a few firecrackers on that day, but the decoration starts. And then on the Badi Diwali, which is the big Diwali or the worship of Lakshmi, main Diwali we say, the main day, that is when Lakshmi is worshipped. That is when there's a lot of food. I remember my mother used to create all kinds of different varieties of sweet and salty foods. And people visit each other and they're feeding each other this lovely snacks. And it's also a day that people wear new clothes. It's a day where people would start their new books, account books. So it's a kind of start of newness, the new year, the new day. And then there is the worship on the fourth day. There's the worship of the Gordon Mountain. Now, Gordon Mountain has been remembered in Hindu mythology as the mountain that Krishna lifted. And there's a big story behind that, which you can easily look up. But basically what people do nowadays to remember that time where Krishna helped the villagers and saved the villagers from Lord Indra, the rain god, is they build little mounds of symbolic, a replica of this mountain, by making cow dung hills, and then they clear it away. So again, it's symbolic of everyone coming together to clear away this hill. And that's how Gordon Mountain is also remembered, that with everybody's help of cooperation, with everybody's finger of cooperation, the big task gets done, gets completed. And then the 5th day of Diwali is actually Bhai Dooj, where everybody meets, greets, there's a lot of festivity and fun and lightness and rejoicing. Now, if you look at all of this, you can see that firstly we have to begin to clean our inner home. Our inner home is the home here, the home of the soul. And Lakshmi, that is all goodness, all abundance, cannot come to us unless we have cleaned up that home, which is the heart and the mind. And as I emphasized, every little corner is cleaned before Diwali. And so now, at this point in time, we believe we're passing through very important times now, where we really need to look inside and clean our inner being and really rid it of any negativity, any impurity, any sorrow that we have taken, to truly forgive and to let go. Because if we do, then we are the ones that will benefit, right? Lakshmi, in the form of all abundance, Lakshmi known as the goddess of wealth, but if you look at it as an overall term, the goddess of abundance will come to me. So if I'm not feeling that abundance, then it's only I that is preventing myself from, receiving it, because I'm trapped still in my old ways or trapped in my own dirt. So let me really clean out the mind, and we do that by creating pure thoughts. And that is what is symbolized as the light, as that diva. The diva is bringing in, ushering in new light. It's the ushering in of the new dawn. It's the ushering in of new consciousness, a new way of thinking. And this new way of thinking is the soul conscious way of thinking. Because for so long we have been trapped in body consciousness. And this is the clay. This is the clay matter. As we say, dust to dust, ashes to ashes. So this body will go back to the earth. But it is the soul that lives forever and ever. So that light, that living light, lives on forever and ever. So when we shed the consciousness of the body, then the significance, the importance is given to the soul. And it's simply with the switch of one thought. So instead of focusing so much on the body and the limited successes of the body, I begin to focus on the soul and the well-being of the soul, the future of the soul. This is what is real soul consciousness, when my whole attention, awareness, is now focused on how do I, the soul, want to be? How do I, the soul, want to live? How do I, the soul, want to express myself? How do I, the soul, want to engage in this world through this body? So our whole awareness changes actually. And for the better, right? From my experience, for the better. So try it and see, right? Because this ushering in of new light is the ushering in of virtues. Every time I focus on a virtue, every time I focus on some power and quality, that is like bringing light into my life. So every time I zoom in on somebody else's speciality, that is like looking at their light. If I'm focused on their body and only the skills and specialities of the body, then that's my limited body consciousness. And I'm being trapped by those limitations because we know that that person is more than what I see with these two eyes. But when I begin to see with my third eye, I begin to see their soul and the specialities in that soul, then actually two people become enlightened. I become enlightened by seeing their speciality, and they also become enlightened because you enable them to see something of themselves that they could not see themselves. So this is very important, that light, the meaning of light has many meanings. Light can be peace, light can be joy, happiness, light can be wisdom, knowledge. Light is also lightness, which is being light and flexible and easygoing. So light has many meanings. So the real Diwali is to really bring in this light. And when can we wear new clothes is when we're really feeling full inside. So this new clothes is symbolic of a new body of light. There's no new clothes as such. There's no new physical clothes, but it's this feeling of now I'm feeling light, I'm feeling like an angel. And I'm not feeling burdened. My life is a joy. It's not a struggle anymore. And that's why I want to bring in this aspect of King Rama. King Rama returning to the kingdom is actually symbolic of I, the master, I, the king, return back to my throne. This is the seat of the soul, the throne of the soul. So when I take my life back into my own hands, I take charge of my thoughts, I take charge of my feelings, I'm returning back to the seat of the soul, the throne of the soul. And I'm the king, I'm the master. And we all know if I'm not the master, then somebody else will master me. So I have to master my thoughts and feelings. So once I do that, I come back to my seat of self-respect. That is the real returning of the King Rama to the throne. And then this aspect of the Gordon mountain. So again, it takes everyone, not just one. In that story, it showed that Krishna came to the rescue of the villagers, the farmers, because Lord Indra had got angered that, Krishna was intervening. So he made a lot of heavy rains. He flooded the area. So then Krishna lifted the mountain and saved all the crops. Now here it's symbolic of us all working together. We know that no man is an island. We all have to work together to create a better world. And that's what it's symbolic of. Each one of us can do our small bit. Each one of us can practice a little extra kindness, a little extra sweetness, a little extra generosity, a little extra compassion. And as we bring these virtues into our lives, as we bring these virtues into the world, then we are adding this light to the world. This is how the world gets illuminated, with the light of each one's virtues. If you see the opposite, there are the evil forces. There is anger and greed and attachment and ego and lust. These are all the dark forces, the evil forces. And actually, if you look in every movie or every story, there's always the victory of good over evil, right? We always say it's a happy ending, that the enemy is always killed. So again, we need to stay firm in this faith that there will be for sure victory over our vices, and that we will victor. I, the soul, will victor over my vices, and not to have a doubt in the self. And we do this by just simply, igniting each and every virtue in I, the soul. So use every moment in the day to exercise one of your virtues. That's all you need to do, is just say to yourself, oh, this is an opportunity for me to bring more light into the world. So let me be nice, let me be kind, let me be caring, let me be helpful. That's it. It's as simple as that. When I add this extra light to the world, then that's how the world becomes a better place to live. And also, what do we say? We say that darkness is the absence of light. What is darkness otherwise? Yeah, when the sun goes away, then we get the dark night. And when the sun comes back, it becomes day. So darkness is nothing except absence of light. In the same way, in the soul, when I'm not practicing virtue, then there's a feeling of darkness, there's a feeling of sorrow, there's a feeling of confusion or negativity. But as soon as I bring virtue back, it's like a ray of hope, right? Actually, there was a very nice quote I read somewhere, and it said, normally we say, there's the light at the end of the tunnel. But the quote said, instead of light at the end of the tunnel, why don't we light up the tunnel? And so this is our journey. Our journey is to light up our life. If we know there's a better way of living, then why don't we choose that better way of living? And we will be happier for it, and those around us will be happier for it. Let me end with a story here. So the story is of Lakshmi, and there was a very rich man. And this rich man died, and as he got up to the gates of God, gates of heaven, God said to him, so my son, you have come. And then he started arguing with God. He said, but why have you called me? I haven't finished living my life yet. And I'm not ready to come. And God said, well, sorry, but your time is up. And he said, no, I need to go back. He goes, look, you know how much wealth I have. If you take all my wealth, just give me one more year to live. And God said, no, I'm sorry. And he said, okay, give me 6 months to live. And God said, no, child, I'm sorry. Death is death. He said, give me a month more to live. And God said, no, I don't want your money. I don't want your bargains. I want your life. Anyway, eventually God had compassion and allowed him to come down for 1 minute. As he came back to the world for 1 minute, the first thing he did is he went to his safe. The safe where he stored all his wealth. Because all the time he thought, money will save me, money is my power, money is my identity. He went to the safe and he said, Lakshmi, please, you have to save me. And he thought he could, buy his way out of death. And what did Lakshmi say? Lakshmi replied by saying, my dear, you had locked me up. You had locked me up all this time, so I could be of no use to you. And so this is my message that I leave you with today, that we all have inside of us this Lakshmi, this enormous wealth, this enormous potential. And we're not utilizing it. We're not fully utilizing it. Maybe we think we are, but I'm sure if you dig deep, there is so much in the soul to give, to share, to spread. So why not share this wealth with others? And as we understand karma, whatever you give out is what you get back. So really to keep this in mind, that the real Diwali, celebrating the real Diwali, means to light up my inner light, means to clean up the soul from inside, and it means to really make it such a clean place where Lakshmi can feel comfortable to sit. So with these thoughts, I wish you a very lovely Diwali and all the best. Om Shanti.
आइए इस दिवाली संस्कार परिवर्तन का उत्सव मनाएं।